together to help you build strong fundamentals that will benefit you. In the long run and set you on the path to mastery. This video assumes that you have a basic understanding of how StarCraft works. If you don't, there may be terminology ahead that you won't understand, and I recommend that you first watch my other videos in which I explain what the game is and how to control it. Check the description below for links to these videos. That said, this video control it. Check the description below for links to these videos. That said, this video is for beginners. I've tested the script out on my wife, who to this day, after so many years of watching me play, still can't tell the difference between StarCraft, Star Trek, and Star Wars. So when she tells me that she understands this video, that means it's pretty much foolproof. If you haven't already, the first thing you'll want to do is play through the game's single-player campaigns. Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm, and Legacy of the Void tell amazing stories and teach you how to control the game. Just keep in mind that many of the units and gameplay elements encountered in the single-player campaigns differ from the game's competitive multiplayer mode. With that said, once you're done with the story, you'll want to kick the habit of playing against the computer as soon as possible. So much of StarCraft is about the mind game between the two players, and playing against the AI won't teach you any of this. The sooner you take that leap into playing against actual people, the better. StarCraft 2 has 3 races: Terran, Protoss, and Zerg. Each race has its own strengths and weaknesses, but all of them are equally viable at all levels of play. Don't let anyone tell you differently. If you're serious about learning the game, you need to focus on one race. StarCraft 2 is already challenging enough as it is. Trying to juggle all 3 races is just going to triple the amount of stuff you have to learn. If you've played through the story, you probably already have a good idea of which race appeals to you the most. Otherwise, just pick one and stick with it for now. You can always change your mind later. Now, before I get into it, I just want to say it's great to have you here. YouTube is incredibly competitive, and as a tiny channel, it's extremely hard to get people to even find your stuff. So if you enjoy this video, if you could take the time to give me a thumbs up or write a quick comment, you'd be doing me a huge favor in helping me reach more people. StarCraft 2 could be better described as multitasking the game. Becoming truly good at StarCraft requires mastering a ton of different skills and then doing them all at the same time. But as important as things like scouting, micro, and unit compositions are, they all pale in comparison to the single most important skill: having good fundamentals. So what are those fundamentals? The goal of a match of StarCraft is simple: destroy your opponent's base. When the match begins, both players have only a command center, nexus or hatchery, and 12 workers. From these humble beginnings, you have to build an army strong enough to beat your opponent's army. How you get that army, well, that's the whole point of the game. The first step to understanding StarCraft is to accept that it is a sprint. The faster you can get your army on the field, the greater your chances of winning the game. Take a look at this battle, where the red player has 10 marauders and the blue player's only got 8. Clever tactics and expert control can swing a battle in your favor, but as a general rule, the player with the larger army will emerge victorious. Which brings us to the concept of macro. Macro is your ability to produce units and structures as fast as possible. Macro is all about priorities, and throughout a match of StarCraft 2, you'll need to constantly juggle 3 key tasks: producing workers, avoiding supply block, and spending your money. Let's go over these one by one. I'll be using Terran to demonstrate these concepts, but once I've covered the fundamentals, I'll swing back and show how the same ideas apply to Protoss and Zerg. To build an army, you need money. In StarCraft 2, that means minerals and gas. Only worker units can gather these resources. That's why you'll want as many workers as fast as possible. The moment the match begins, the very first thing you want to do is to select your command center and order it to train a worker, or SCV. Every order that can be issued in the game has its own hotkey, depending on the unit or structure you selected. To order the selected command center to train an SCV, hit the S key on the keyboard. Since hotkeys are significantly faster than moving the cursor over to the SCV icon and clicking it, I want you to get into the habit of using hotkeys whenever you issue an order. With all the multitasking you'll be doing later, you won't have a moment to lose. With your command center selected, you'll now see a progress bar showing when your new worker will be done. Before it finishes, hit the S key again to add a second worker to the command center's production queue. This way, the second worker will start training the very instant the first one is finished. For the rest of the match, your number one priority is to keep making workers without interruption. Even a few seconds delay here and there will add up and translates into lost income and lost production. Training a worker takes about 12 seconds. That means that throughout the whole match, you'll need to check back with your command center at least every 12 seconds, no matter what else is going on. In other words, you're gonna have to get really familiar with your command center. That's why the second thing you want to do when the match starts is to add your command center to a control group. With the command center selected, hold Ctrl and hit 4, then release the control key. You've now added the command center to control group number 4. Whenever you press 4 on the keyboard, you'll instantly select your command center, even if you're on the other side of the map doing something completely different. Now that you added it to a control group, you can quickly and easily check back with the command center. From here, you want to start building a habit. Whatever else is going on in the match, whether you're moving your army, being attacked, or building a new base, get used to hitting 4 every few seconds to check on the command center's queue. If you have less than 2 SCVs in the queue, hit S to add another one. Simple, straightforward, but oh so easy to mess up in the heat of the moment. There's a couple of pitfalls here I should point out. Firstly, you might be thinking, hey, what if I queue up 5 workers at the same time? That way I'll be less likely to miss a worker, right? The reason why you should not do this is because the cost of a unit is deducted the moment you put it into the queue. So if you fill up your queue with SCVs, you'll be down 150 minerals you'll need for other stuff. Secondly, once you get your second command center and onward, you'll want to add it to the same control group as the first one. Adding a new structure to an existing control group is easy. Just select the new structure, hold Shift and hit the same number key, in this case 4. The next time you press 4, you'll select both command centers. With multiple command centers in the control group, you won't see the progress bar for training SCVs anymore. But don't worry, you can still see the queue. Beneath each structure's green wireframe, you'll see 5 white or gray dots. Each white dot represents a unit in the structure's queue, so your goal remains the same as before. Make sure each of your command centers has exactly 2 white dots at all times. Each time you hit the S key while 2 or more command centers are selected, a worker will be added to whichever structure has the shortest queue at the time. Remember that producing workers is always your first priority. Nothing else that you can do will have as big an impact on the match. There are only 2 times you'd ever want to stop making workers. One, because you already have enough of them. How many is enough, you ask? You want to shoot for 80 workers. That's 80. Yeah, that's a lot. To find out how many workers you have and when to stop making them, hover the mouse cursor over the supply icon in the top right corner. Here you can see the total supply of your army and your worker count. The other situation where you'd stop producing workers is specific to Terran players. Once you have constructed your first barracks, you can and should upgrade your command center to an orbital command by selecting the structure and hitting the B key. You won't be able to train SCVs while the command center is morphing, but the benefit of having an orbital command is worth missing out on a couple of workers. The orbital command works just like a command center, but it also has access to some really useful abilities. The most important one is called Call Down Mule. The orbital command has a recharging pool of energy, which is represented by these purple numbers. It can regularly spend this energy to call down a special worker called a mule, which has a limited lifespan but can gather minerals at a very efficient rate. Whenever you're checking in on your command centers to make sure they're training workers, also take a look at the Call Down Mule icon. If it's lit up, that means you have enough energy to use the ability. Hit the E key to select the ability and then left click on a mineral patch to put the mule to work. Use this ability as often as you can. So you got all these workers bringing in all these minerals, but all the money in the world won't help you if you can't spend it. To make units, you need supply. Take another look at that supply icon in the top right corner of the screen. This icon shows your current and maximum supply. Units require varying amounts of supply depending on how strong they are. For example, SCVs and Marines both cost 1 supply each, so when you start training one of these units, your current supply will increase by 1. If you cancel the unit or the unit later dies, you get the supply back. If you try to train a unit when your supply is maxed out, the unit will be put on hold until you free up some supply. This is called being supply blocked, and it's real bad. When the supply is maxed out, the unit will be put on hold until you free up some supply. This is called being supply blocked, and it's real bad. When the match starts, you'll be at 12 out of 15 supply. The moment you start training your first SCV, your supply will increase to 13. If you continue like this, you'll get supply blocked at 15 and won't be able to train any more workers. To increase your maximum supply, you need to build supply depots. But since these cost money and take time to make, you can't just start throwing depots down at random. You'll need to build them at just the right time. Once your first SCV finishes training, have it construct a supply depot by hitting the B key followed by S. You can worry about correct building placement later. Just put it wherever. The SCV will need to stick around to construct the building, and it cannot gather minerals at the same time. To make sure the SCV gets back to gathering minerals after the supply depot is complete, hold the Shift key and right-click one of the mineral patches. This will queue up an order for the worker to return to gathering minerals the moment the depot finishes construction. Make a habit of shift-clicking your workers back to the minerals after ordering them to construct the building, or you'll end up with a bunch of idle workers that don't contribute to your economy. When the depot finishes construction, your maximum supply will increase. From now on, every time you train a unit, take a look at those numbers in the top right corner. If you're getting close to hitting your maximum supply, grab a worker and build another depot. Keep it up and eventually you'll hit the game's cap of 200 supply. At that point, even additional supply depots won't help you. With time, you'll start to get the feel for exactly when you'll need to start another depot to avoid supply block. For now, err on the safe side and slap those depots down sooner rather than later. Just make sure you can still afford to make workers and produce units. Unlike in real life, StarCraft money doesn't collect interest, and you cannot save it for a rainy day. You need to spend it as soon as possible. Spending money comes down to priority. As you already know, your first priority is to train more workers, and your second priority is to build supply depots when you need them. But with all that cash rolling in, you won't be able to spend it all on just workers and depots. The rest should go into building an army. Usually at this point, people are going to start talking about build orders. A build order is a carefully calibrated series of actions taken in-game designed to maximize the potential of a specific strategy. I'm not going to give you a build order because frankly it doesn't matter at this point. What you need is good fundamentals. Build orders and strategies will come and go, but good fundamentals will never go out of style. Instead, I'm going to give you some general guidelines to get you started. Once you have a supply depot, it's time to get a barracks. To build a barracks, grab one of your SCVs, hit B for buildings, and then B again for barracks. Again, don't worry about building placement. And remember, once you've issued the construction order, hold Shift and right-click a mineral patch to make sure the SCV gets right back to gathering minerals afterwards. While your barracks is being constructed, select the unfinished structure and assign it to Control Group 5 by holding Control and hitting 5. When your barracks is done, hit 5 to select it and then press the A key to train a Marine. From now on, you want to keep up a constant production of Marines out of that barracks, just like you've been making SCVs at your command center. The same principles apply, keep them coming, but never queue up more than 2 units in the same building. And remember your priorities. Keep making workers and watch your supply numbers. Now that you have your barracks, make sure you select your command center and upgrade it to an orbital command by hitting B. When the upgrade is complete, start dropping mules on the minerals. Pretty soon, barracks. Make sure you select your command center and upgrade it to an orbital command by hitting B. When the upgrade is complete, start dropping mules on the minerals. Pretty soon, you'll find that you can't spend your money fast enough with just a single barracks. When that happens, you'll want to use that extra money to build more structures, but before that, you need to take another base, or in other words, expand. Besides the starting positions where players begin the match, a StarCraft map has a number of expansion sites. Expansion sites are easily identified by the presence of minerals and Vespine geysers. By claiming these locations, a player can greatly increase their income. In fact, since minerals and gas are finite resources, a player who doesn't expand will eventually run out of money. To expand, grab a worker and order it to build a new command center by hitting B followed by C. You'll need 400 minerals to do this. Now move the camera over to the nearest expansion site and place the command center in the closest possible location to the minerals. While the new command center is under construction, select it and right-click one of the nearby mineral patches to set the new structure's rally point. Future SCVs built out of this structure will automatically move to the minerals and begin harvesting. Future SCVs built out of this structure and press 4 to add the new command center to the control group. Make sure you keep up SCV production throughout this. Don't stop making workers while you're waiting for the minerals to make a new command center. And when your new command center finishes, upgrade it to an orbital command before doing anything else. Throughout the match, regularly expand to a new base when you have the money to make another command center, but don't overdo it. One expansion at a time is just fine. Now is a good time to start harvesting gas. Go back to your main base, select one of your SCVs and press B and then R to build a refinery. Move the cursor over one of the Vespine geysers and left click to place the building. The SCV that constructs the refinery will automatically begin harvesting gas when construction is done. At that point, grab 2 more SCVs and right-click the refinery to get a total of 3 workers gathering gas. This is the ideal number of workers for each refinery. When you've collected 100 gas, get one of your workers to build a factory by hitting V followed by F. Place it wherever you want, but leave a little room on the right side for an add-on. Select the factory and assign it to Control Group 6 by holding Control and hitting 6. When the factory finishes, press 6 to select it and then hit X to give it a Tech Lab add-on. The Tech Lab will allow for the construction of more advanced mechanical units. There's also a Reactor add-on which allows for the construction of 2 simple units at the same time. Once you have the Tech Lab, select the factory and hit the S key to start building a siege tank. From now on, your goal is to produce SCVs from the command centers, Marines from the barracks, and siege tanks or other units from the factory. Keep all of these structures busy, but remember that workers have the highest priority. When you can afford it, have one of your SCVs build an armory. The hotkeys for this structure are V followed by A. The armory allows your factories to make a powerful unit called the Thor, and also enables Hellions, another factory unit, to transfer this structure are V. For it, have one of your SCVs build an armory. The hotkeys for this structure are V followed by A. The armory allows your factories to make a powerful unit called the Thor, and also enables Hellions, another factory unit, to transform into Hellbats. From here on out, your goal is the following. Remember your priorities. While making SCVs and supply depots and producing units out of your barracks and factories, gradually add more factories when you can afford to. Give them all a Tech Lab or a reactor. Along the way, build more refineries when you need more gas. Make a ton of Thors, siege tanks and Hellions until you hit 200 supply. At this point, select your whole army with the F2 key and send it to attack your opponent's base. While your army is marching across the map, use the money you have in your bank to build a bunch of extra factories, and whenever your units die, just keep rebuilding them. Now that you know your priorities, it's time to put the pieces of the puzzle together. First, no matter what's going on, keep making workers. Second, watch your supply count and keep building supply depots before you get supply blocked. Third, spend your money. The further you get into a match, the more stuff you'll have to multitask. To keep up with all of this, you'll need to build strong habits that eventually become second nature. We call this the macro cycle, and this is why adding your buildings to control groups is so important. Continuously throughout the match, regardless of what's going on, these are the steps of the macro cycle which you need to go through over and over. Hit 4 to select your command centers. Make sure they're all building SCVs and call down mules if you have enough energy. Hit 5 to select your barracks. Make sure they're producing units. Hit 6 to select your factories. Make sure they're producing units. Look at your supply in the top right corner. How many workers do you have? How much supply do you have available? If you're getting close to your max, grab an SCV and build a depot. Eventually, you might have to build 2 depots at a time. If you still have money, build another factory or take another expansion. Finally, check the worker saturation at your bases. Command centers and refineries have floating text showing the number of workers currently engaged there. Take a look at the command center. The first number shows you how many workers are currently gathering minerals at this location. In this case, it says 14. The second number shows the ideal number of mineral gathering workers for this location. If you have too many workers gathering minerals at a location, the numbers will turn red. This is how the game signals that you need to shift some of your workers around. First, make sure you build refineries on both gas geysers and put 3 workers on each. If you still have too many workers gathering minerals, select some of the workers and send them to another base where they're needed by right-clicking one of the mineral patches at that location. Make sure you don't move any mules, since they don't count towards saturation. An easy way to check saturation is to use the backspace key. When you hit backspace, the camera will cycle between your bases. Over time, mineral patches will deplete and disappear, and the maximum saturation at the base will be reduced. To keep your economy strong, you'll need to expand regularly across the map and balance the number of workers at each base to ensure that you're getting the best value out of them. If you still have too many workers in your bases after shifting them around, that means you haven't been expanding fast enough. Take another base right now. You'll also need to shift your rally points. Each command center and other unit producing structure has a rally point. You can set this point and change it at any time by selecting the building and right-clicking a location on the map. Units that are created in the structure will immediately move to that point after being completed. If you set the rally point of a command center to a mineral patch, the SCVs you produce here will immediately begin gathering minerals at that location. So when one base is starting to fill up, you'll want to change the rally point of your existing command centers to a new expansion. Keep updating your command center's rally points as the match goes on to make sure your workers go where they're needed. So there we have it. That's the macro cycle. This might seem like a long list, but don't worry. Take it one step at a time. Do it slowly, methodically. Learn to do it right before you do it fast. Over time, the more you do this, the stronger the habit will get. You'll develop an internal clock that automatically keeps track of what needs to be done. It's like a sixth sense that tells you it's time to train another worker, that your upgrade is about to finish, or that your expansion is ready. Just focus on building those good habits and everything else will fall into place. I know this might seem overwhelming at this point. Don't worry if you mess something up or forget something. What really matters is, and you probably guessed it, remember your priorities. Make workers, avoid supply block, spend your money. Macro is the most important part of StarCraft. If you can do these three things at even 50% efficiency, you'll be miles ahead of most players. When you're just starting out, it's all about building good habits. Don't get distracted by flashy techniques or exciting build orders. Practice your macro cycle. To do this, go to the custom menu, click melee, then pick one of the standard Blizzard maps and create a lobby. Click add AI, set the difficulty to very easy and the build to economic focus. This ensures that you won't get disturbed while you're practicing your fundamentals. Start the game and see how fast you can get to 80 workers and 200 supply. Then do it again and try to beat your best time. With some practice, you should be able to do it in less than 11 minutes. As rusty as I am, I was able to max out before 9 minutes. Let me know in the comments if you can beat my time. Soon enough, the macro cycle will start to feel like second nature. At that point, you're ready to try it against an actual person. Don't hesitate, just jump in. If you feel nervous, I totally get it. Try not to get too hung up on winning or losing. Just remember your priorities, do your best, and have fun. Once you can reliably keep up with your macro cycle, even while going head to head with another person, you'll be ready to take your game to the next level.
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
What's going on?
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Bad news. Big job.
Additional supply. Not enough minerals.
Command Center's production queue. This way, the second worker will start training the very instant the first one is finished. For the rest of the match, your number one priority is to keep making workers without interruption. Even a few seconds delay here, you'll need to check back about 12 seconds. That means that throughout the whole match, you'll need to check back with your command center at least every 12 seconds, no matter what else is going on. In other words, you're gonna have to get really familiar with your command center. That's why the second thing you want to do when the match starts is to add your command center to a control group. With the command center selected, hold Control and hit 4, then release the control key. You've now added the command center to control group number 4.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Bad news.
Not enough
SCV
minerals.
ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Uh-huh. SCV ready.
Whenever you press 4 on the keyboard, you'll instantly select center, hold Ctrl and hit 4, then release the Control key. You've now added the command center to control group number 4. Whenever you press 4 on the keyboard, you'll instantly select your command center, even if you command center to a control group. With the command center selected, hold Ctrl and hit 4, then release the Control key. You've now added the command center to control group number 4. Whenever you press 4 on the keyboard, you'll instantly select your command center, even if you're on the other side of the map doing something completely different. Now that you added it to a control group, you can quickly and easily check back with the command center. From here, you want to start building a habit. Whatever else is going on in the match, whether you're moving your army, being attacked, or building a new base,
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
In the rear with SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
You're the boss.
Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
Huh? Bad news? I can't build here.
Additional supply depots required. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready. What's going on? Go ahead. SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Move it. SCV ready. SCV ready. SCV ready.
Get used to hitting 4 every few seconds to check on the command center's queue. If you have less than 2 SCVs in the queue, hit S to add another one. Simple, straightforward. StarCraft 2 is to add your command center to a control group. With the command center selected, hold Control and hit 4, then release the control key. You've now added the command center to control group number 4. Whenever you press 4 on the keyboard, you'll instantly select your command center, even if you're on the other side of the map doing something completely different. Now that you added it to a control habit, building a new. If you have less than 2 SCVs in the queue, hit S to add another one. Simple, straightforward, but oh so easy to mess up in the heat of the moment. There's a couple of pitfalls here I should point out. Firstly, you might be thinking, hey, what if I queue up 5 workers at the same time? The reason why you should to the queue need for others to add it to the same control group as the first one. Adding a new structure to an existing control group is easy. Just select the new structure, hold Shift and hit the same number key, in this case 4. The next time you press 4, you'll select both command centers. With multiple command centers in the control group, you won't see the progress bar for training SCVs anymore. But don't worry, you can still see the queue. Beneath each structure's green wireframe, you'll see 5 white or gray dots. Each white dot represents a unit in the structure's queue, so your goal remains the same as before. Make sure each of your command centers has exactly 2 white dots at all times. Each time you hit the S key while 2 or more command centers are selected, a worker will be added to whichever structure has the shortest queue at the time. Remember that producing workers is always your first priority. Nothing else that you can do will have as big an impact on the match. There are only 2 times you'd ever want to stop making workers.
job, huh? Go ahead. It's your dime.
One, because you
So, I noticed there's quite a lot of people out there that don't know how to properly hotkey their units when playing Zerg in StarCraft 2.
What's up guys, this is going to be my basic Terran hotkey video. And I'm going to be showing you how to make buildings, how to split marines, and how to do some basic stuff in the game. Playing against an AI because I just want to showcase some basic stuff.
Mineral field depleted.
So let's talk about how to split a drop in our control group. So we load a drop,
Mineral field.
we click the drop, and then box our army and hit Control 1 to reset the control
Upgrade
group.
complete.
Now when I hit 1A, it won't mess with my drop.
Upgrade
You want to
complete.
hit Shift A move and guys.
Depleted.
Now let's talk about building buildings. Say I want a lot of barracks. I'm gonna hit B twice, hold Shift, click, 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 click. That will build all those barracks. Now we'll hold down Shift and right click the minerals. So whenever these SCVs get done building these, they'll automatically go back to mining. Now I want to add these to my new hotkey, or to my barracks, which is on 5. So I hold down Control, left click, it selects all the barracks, then I hit Shift 5, which adds them into my new control group. I reset the waypoint, and as soon as these barracks come online, they'll be ready to go. Let's do the same thing with factories. VF, hold Shift, click multiple times, right click back. Let's go ahead and take our 4th as well.
Unacceptable landing zone.
Let's say we want to make depots, it's the same deal. BS, hold down Shift, left click, and you can make multiple structures by holding Shift and get them to return to work by right clicking. So I want to make add-ons now. Hey, calm down. I want to make add-ons from your main. Once you see red, you want to transfer. I split my barracks. Let's just go over basic marine splitting now.
You gonna give me orders? What's
Also, you want to remember to transfer your SCVs from your main. Let's just go over basic marine splitting now.
gonna give me orders? What's
Also, you want to remember to transfer your SCVs from your main. Once you see red, you want to transfer.
Add-on
Okay,
complete.
so he has a really big army actually. I need to make stuff. Okay, so the idea behind splitting your army is you want to do it especially against Banes, and you just want to partition little areas of your army. You want, okay, watch. You basically want to split.
I do recommend unhotkeying the all army hotkey, and obviously you do have the option to just simply rally your hatcheries to one central location, and you can pick up the units over there every once in a while. But it's actually possible to hotkey all of the cocoons while the units are building. And I think this is actually really important, and one of the things that not a lot of people are necessarily aware of. So, all I've done right here, I have created 3 hatcheries inside of like a practice game. And I want to try and quickly show you how you do this. So first off, we need to establish the difference between hitting Control +1 and Shift +1. So if I grab this drone right over here, and I hit Shift +1 on my keyboard, you will see that right over here at the bottom section of the screen, it shows up with a little number over there that indicates there's one unit on this control group. However, the same thing happens if I were to select this drone and hit Control +1. There's a difference between the two. Control, when you hit a bunch of units, right? You select a couple units and you hit Control +1. It adds all of the units that you've currently got selected into the control group of 1. But it also, on top of that, overwrites existing control group number 1. So if I were to select these two drones right over here and I hit Control +1, these two are no longer control group number 1. Now there's a difference here. If you say, for example, have control group number 1 right over here with these two drones, you select this drone and you hit Shift +1, look what happens to the number over here. It gets added to the existing hotkey group of number 1. So that's the first little bit of information. The reason why I'm bringing this up, if I make a couple Zerglings over here, let me wait just a little bit before they finish. The reason why I bring it up is because it's possible to add units that are still inside of the cocoon to the existing hotkey group. So say I've got a couple Zerglings right over here, right? I hit Control +1, which means that they are going to be in control group number 1. If then, for example, right, I'm fighting over here, right over here, there's like an aggression happening over here, right? And I want to make more attacking units. I can hit hotkey group number 4, which is all of my hatcheries. I can create units using hotkeys. I can then control-click the cocoons at the bottom section of the screen, which effectively deselects the larva, and then hit Shift +1, which adds the cocoons right now to the hotkey group of number 1, which means that while I'm fighting over here, the units that spawn will immediately run towards the other units that I already have in hotkey group number 1. And that's actually a really, really, really big thing that helps out quite a bit in StarCraft. So the reason why you want to do this is because it makes it much easier to reinforce your army units. So, for example, right, if I want to make a couple Zerglings right now and I'm fighting over here, I can hit 4QQ, or 4QEE, hit Control, click the Zerg cocoon button over there, and then hit Shift +1, which makes it so that the units I'm producing right now will automatically run towards this control group. The one thing that you do want to make sure you press as well is Control. Let me quickly explain this. If I were to hit Shift +1 right now, I would also add these larvae to the control group number 1, and I don't want that. So that's why you want to click Control, you hold down Control, you click on the cocoons, and then hit Shift +1. Alright, so that's the difference between Control and Shift, and why you want to utilize both of them in StarCraft. There's one more that they added back in Legacy of the Void. This was not a thing back in Heart of the Swarm and Wings of Liberty. It has been in the game since I think like 2015 right now. And then it's Alt modifier keys as well. So we have Control +1, Shift +1. They both do different things. Right now, there's also the control group Alt+, for example, hotkey number 2. There's a difference here, and this is very useful, especially when you're playing Zerg once again. But also if you, for example, use the all-army hotkey and you're playing Terran or Protoss. Say, for example, right, you're fighting over here and you want to get a second group of units out of this hotkey group that you've got right over here. So all of the units that are running here are currently in control group number 1. Now what I can do is select half of them. Can be less, can be more. And hit Alt +2. Now look at the selection right over here. So currently hotkey group number 1 has 72 units in it. If I hit Alt +2, it removes the units on the right from the existing hotkey group number 1 and adds them to a new control group. Which means now I've got 2 separate hotkey groups for both of these groups of units. This is especially useful, right? Say, for example, this is all once again in one control group. Say, for example, you have a bunch of units that you want to send over here for a run-by, so you like you want to use this with a lot, especially with like newer players in StarCraft. It's very easy to always want to produce by looking at the structure that you want to produce with, right? So here's a common error that I see quite a lot with players that are relatively new to StarCraft. You will see them going back to the hatchery and then produce units, right? What you ideally want to do is look at the army and use control groups to do exactly this. Hit Shift +1, and this way it will automatically run towards the army that you're currently looking at. without actually having to look at the hatchery. The only time you really want to look at the hatchery is when you want to quickly do some injects. So this is one of the pretty easy ways to improve in StarCraft 2. And if you've got this properly set up and you really want to take it to the next level, click on the Zerg. This is the reason one or creates it if there's currently no hotkey group number 1. Shift+1 adds existing units, or cocoons I suppose, to the existing.
Hey, True Group. The first thing I like to show you is that most people, when they are starting to work on their control groups, they have like this huge problem with like having like a, for example, goes on control group 2, your main army on control group 1, and then you know, like gotta press 1, 2 and move, 1, 2, move, 1, 2, move, and that makes it very hard to control your stuff. So here are 2 things you can start doing in order to improve that, okay? The first thing is, keep in mind this works for all races. Sometimes you have problem managing High Templars, sometimes you have problem managing Infestors, you know, if you're playing Zerg, or Vipers, you know, like Zerg. Everyone from the click, as you will have first thing, so one of them, then you have very AWP protocol if you need like to hit 10 strafs your key with your start. So apply it.
Because you already have enough of them. How many is enough, you ask? You want to shoot for because you already have enough of them. How many is enough, you ask? Workers. 1 because you already have enough of them. How many is enough, you ask? You want to shoot
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Roger. Yes, sir. SCV ready. Go ahead.
Additional supply depots required.
Huh?
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
SCV ready.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
There's something in the way. SCV ready. In the rear with the gear. Big job, huh? Ah! What's going on? Big job, huh? Bad news? Ah! You scared me! What's going on? Gotcha!
Self-destruct in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Uh-oh. I can fix anything. If this dang thing holds together. In the rear with the gear. Huh? Go ahead. Ah! You scared me!
Shoot. You want to shoot for 80 workers. Already have enough of them. How many is enough? You ask. Making workers. 1 because you already have enough of them. How many is enough? You ask. You 1 because you already have enough of them. How many?
Go ahead. Bad news? What's going on? Huh? Say, you got a real pretty mouth. Oh, my cousin Lester saw a Zergling once. In the rear with the big job, huh? Go ahead.
You want to shoot for 80 workers. That's 80. Yeah, that's a lot. To find out how many workers you have and when to stop making them, hover the mouse cursor. StarCraft pros are famous for their speed, with upwards of 400 actions per minute of precise inputs in the heat of a battle. A lot of it comes down to practice, but all the practice in the world won't help you if you don't have the right fundamentals. Hi, I'm Alticate, and I'm gonna teach you how to play StarCraft 2. In this video, I'll show you how to use hotkeys to control the game like the pros. A hotkey is a keyboard shortcut that performs a certain action in the game. This video will explain how hotkeys work and how they help you win games. I'll teach you the most important hotkey you'll ever use. I'll talk about the most controversial hotkey in the game, and I'll show you how to master the game's camera. If you stick around for the very end of the video, I'll also demonstrate just how big a difference the efficient use of hotkeys can make in an actual battle. Spoiler alert, it's a big deal. If you're not already using hotkeys, start today. Most actions in StarCraft 2 can be performed with the mouse, but when given the choice, you'll want to use the keyboard instead. No matter how fast you are with a mouse, moving the cursor to click an icon on the screen is always going to be significantly slower than hitting a key on the keyboard. Let me demonstrate just how big a difference hotkeys make. If you've seen my macro tutorial, you'll know that regularly cycling through your production structures to keep up on unit production is one of the most fundamental tasks in the game. Here I have 3 command centers, 2 barracks, 2 factories, and 2 starports. Right now, none of these structures are producing anything. I want to fix that. Using only my mouse, I'm going to select these structures and start unit production in each one. In total, these actions took me about 12 seconds to complete. Not too great considering I'll have to do this roughly every 15 seconds of the game. Now I'm gonna do the same thing using hotkeys. And just to keep things interesting, I'll be doing all of this while on the opposite side of the map, moving my Reaper in a circle around the opponent's setup. This time, the same cycle took me only about 6 seconds, and that's while keeping my Reaper alive. Committing to using hotkeys is the single most important thing you can do to improve your performance in StarCraft 2. And it all starts with the fundamental function of being a military commander, giving orders. A command hotkey is a keyboard shortcut that issues a specific order to the selected units or structures when you press it. Each unit or structure has its own unique command hotkeys for each of the special actions they can take. For example, the T hotkey tells a High Templar to cast Psionic Storm, and the A hotkey orders a barracks to train a Marine. There are way too many unit-specific command hotkeys to list in a single video. Instead, I want to teach you a basic principle that will make memorizing the game's many hotkeys as easy as pie. Anytime you can't remember the hotkey for a certain command, do not click the icon with your mouse. Instead, hover the mouse over the icon, read the hotkey, and then press the right key on the keyboard. Stick to this rule and you'll know all of the hotkeys by heart before you know it. But there's also general command hotkeys, which are the same for all units and structures. These include things like P for patrol and H for hold position. There is one command hotkey that is more important than any other. This is the single most common and devastating mistake that new players often make in StarCraft 2. And if you're not already using the hotkey correctly, I can guarantee that you're losing games you should have won. The attack hotkey. A orders the selected units to attack. An attack can target an enemy unit or structure, but the attack command has a far more useful application. When you move your army by clicking the right mouse button on the map, you're actually issuing a move command. And units on a move command will ignore enemy units until they reach their destination, even if they're attacked. By hitting A and then clicking the left mouse button somewhere on the map, you'll order the selected units to move towards that location while attacking any enemy units they encounter along the way. This is called attack moving, or A move for short, and you should be using this technique pretty much anytime you want to move your army. StarCraft 2 is a fast-paced game, and running into the opponent's army while your units are on a move command can be game-ending. There is one important thing to keep in mind when using attack move. Make sure you click the ground, not an enemy unit. Accidentally targeting a specific unit in the opponent's army will order your units to focus fire that unit, and that can be really bad. Use the minimap. If you hit A and then left click a location on the minimap, you'll order your unit. Depending on the state of the game, you might have dozens of units spread all over the map. How do you keep track of what's where? And how do you quickly select the right units? Let's talk about the most controversial hotkey in StarCraft. You might have already seen people talking about it, and you're almost certainly using it. Select army units. Hitting the F2 key will select every army unit you have on the map, regardless of their location. It's not that the F2 key is bad. It's the fastest way to respond to a crisis, and it can be very useful when moving reinforcements to the front or looking for missing units. But relying too much on F2 builds bad habits. Put simply, select army units is a very blunt instrument. It doesn't care that you have a Zergling posted at each of the opponent's expansion sites. It doesn't care that you have an observer tracking your opponent's rally point. And it certainly couldn't care less that you have a medivac about to drop your opponent's main. F2 will select all of those units, and when you order that army to move, they'll all move. When you're first learning the game, it's totally fine to select your whole army and attack move the opponent's side of the map. But one of the key skills you'll need to learn to improve at StarCraft 2 is precise unit control. Things like splitting your army to attack from two sides, dropping the opponent's base while attacking their front, or harassing enemy workers while defending your own base. And we haven't even talked about microing spellcasters in battle. These things might all sound very advanced to you right now, but it's never too early to start learning good fundamentals. And when it comes to unit control, good fundamentals means one thing: control groups. A control group is a selection of units or structures that's been saved to a number key on the top row of the keyboard, letting you quickly select those units by hitting the number. To create a control group, hold Control and press any of the number keys. From now on, hitting that number key will select those units wherever they are. If you create a new control group using the same number, the old control group will be replaced. If you want to add units to an existing control group without replacing it, select the units you want to add to the group, then hold Shift and hit the number key. Units can belong to more than one control group at the same time. This is useful, but what if you want to split one large control group into two smaller control groups? To do this, hold Alt and hit a number key. This creates a new control group that includes your current selection, while also removing those units from any other control groups they were part of. Very useful. There are tons of ways to use control group hotkeys, and the better you know them, the more cool stuff you can pull off in a pinch. The best way to learn how to use control groups is to experiment. Still, I'd like to give you just a taste of what's possible. Here I hit F2 to select my whole army. I then hold Control and hit 1 to create a new control group including all of those units. Now I hit Tab until I can see my Banshees. I then hold Control and click one of the Banshees to exclude all other types of units. Then I hold Alt and hit 2 to create a second control group for the Banshees, while removing them from the first group. I now have one control group for my main army and another one for my Banshees. And it took me like like 3 seconds to do. Now that you know how control groups work, you're probably wondering how you should use them. As you might already know from my macro tutorial, I recommend putting your town halls on the number 4 control group and your production facilities on 5, 6, and 7. It's really a matter of personal preference though, and many players prefer to put town halls on 5. That said, you'll want to reserve at least 3 control groups for different army units. Also, 8, 9, and 0 are too far away to reach comfortably, so most people don't use them. The most important thing is to pick a system and stick with it. Always use the same number for the same thing and you'll eventually build muscle memory. Splitting your army into different control groups is a crucial part of mastering army control in StarCraft 2. There are many ways to do this. StarCraft pros are famous for their speed. With up Before I begin, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's had my back so far. It's a lonely life out there for a small YouTuber, and I'm incredibly grateful for all of the love and support I've gotten these past 2 years. That said, the reason I'm making this announcement video is that I've decided I have to make a change. It's not an easy decision, but I think it is necessary. It's been about 2 years since I started making videos again, and in that time, my content's been split into 2 very distinct topics. There's my StarCraft guides, and then there's everything else. Right now, I'm closing in on 9,000 subscribers, which is kind of insane when I think about it. And while to an outside observer, it might seem like my channel is growing at a pretty steady pace, those numbers hide a pretty big problem. You might have noticed it's been quite a while since I put out any new StarCraft content, and you might be wondering why. The brutal reality is that for the last year or so, due to the circumstances of my life, I haven't been able to play much StarCraft, or even really keep up with the scene. Keeping my game knowledge up to date to the point where I feel confident teaching other people requires a lot of time and effort, and lately I just haven't been able to give that. At the same time, when I started making videos back in 2020, it was never my intention to focus on a single game. And after experimenting with a bunch of different types of content, I now know what my core content is. Video essays like retrospectives, in-depth critiques, and the occasional review. There's a ton of games from the past Final Fantasy V was a landmark title. Over the supply icon in the top right corner. Here you can see the total supply of your army and your worker count. The other situation where you stop producing workers is specific to Terran players. Once you have constructed your first barracks, you can and should upgrade your command center to an orbital command by selecting the structure and hitting the B key. You won't be able to train SCVs while the workers. The orbital command works just like a command center, but it also has access to some really useful abilities. The most interesting pool of energy, which is represented by a special worker called a mule, which has a limited life command. It's lit up, that means you have enough energy to use the ability. Hit the E key to select the ability and then left click on a mineral patch. All the money in the world won't help you if you can't spend it. Units require your supply. You need to build supply.
Why is it doing that? Oh, wait, what? That's so fucking weird. Why did it do that? I'm curious why it's doing that. It's so fucking weird. Alright, while it's building that, I'm gonna keep on going to my macro cycle. I already have that, but let's see why it's doing that. So if I go back, I should be fine, right? Alright. How do I do that again? Is it shift? Oh, okay. 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 Let's do this now. I don't really care about doing any scouts or any of that shit right now. I just care about developing a macro cycle. A very bare bones macro cycle.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
You build that, I want you to go back and do that. As soon as I do that, I want to keep on building up. I want to have a minimum of 2 right here, while also continuing everything I'm doing right now. So...
Additional supply depots required.
You do that, jackass. No, you dick. No, you go right there. Build your shit. Then as soon as you do that, go back there. Okay? You do that, you go back over there. So this is my basic macro cycle, is doing that. If I fucked up, so I need to restart. I was fiddling around trying to learn how I could actually go through each command center for like a solid hour, but I realized if I press 4, it goes to my most recent command center that I'm on. I need to press backspace, but I should change it to my spacebar. Okay. I also realized my mic is muted. Thank God it was actually muted, because I was going off, like, I was going, like, my villain arc for, like, a solid, like, 30 minutes, because I didn't know how to go back to my previous command center quickly. It was really annoying. It's fine, though. Bum, bum, bum.
Not enough minerals.
Go back and doing that. No! Fuck! I accidentally put 4. God damn it. That's irritating.
In the rear with
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Yeah, whatever. SCV ready. Go ahead.
Do your job.
Not enough minerals.
It's not built yet, but I can also... Right? Did I not do that for this one as well? Oh, whoops.
SCV ready.
It's not built yet, so I can't. Wait. No, I can't. Oh shit, I forgot. Once you go over there... That's my fault. Alright. I quickly get overran with... I think it's because I'm making too many. I'm making way too many, I think. No, I'm not making too many SVCs. I'm not going fast enough building other things. I'm supposed to always have 2 or 3 that I'm making. Or they're in queue, sorry. It's... yeah. I have so many tabs open just trying to like fuck around with the command center. Oh, what is this? Holy shit, 35 hours? That's kind of nutty. Okay. What percent's my phone on? 23%. Once it's 15, I'm charging it, by the way. I wish I could actually like play copyrighted music, but I fucking can't right now. All right, what to play? 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 I don't have to play. Just wait a sec. I know you guys can't see shit. Just wait a sec. Let's see. Okay. Here it is. Okay. Let's fucking go. Turn off my lights.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Oh shit. Whoops. No, go right there, you cunt. Thank you. Alright, as soon as you finish with that, do that. And then we're gonna keep on going this. Keep on doing this.
Additional supply depots required.
That should be getting built. And then as soon as it's built, right there.
What's going on?
I want you to go right there, and as soon as it's done,
Bad news? SCV ready.
Not enough minerals.
doing that.
Big job, huh? What's going on? SCV ready. Big job, huh? Ah, you scared me. SCV ready.
You should have already been going right there. I don't understand why that wasn't happening.
SCV ready. SCV ready. Yep. Bad news?
I'm going way slower right now than I typically want to go. But it's because I'm trying to develop a macro cycle.
Go ahead. Huh? SCV ready. SCV ready. In the rear with the gear. SCV ready.
Shit. Stop clicking things, Ethan. Press 5. Jesus Christ. I'm getting pissed. I should have done this before. Now I fucked myself over. fucking irritated. Okay. No, 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 no.
Additional supply depots required.
Don't miss a moment of this experiment. Oh, the book is strange.
No, you cock!
Keep your eyes buttered.
God fucking damn it.
Which you are going to be. Inside the mirror, do you see someone else in the body? Transforming one hand, two hand, three hand. Turn around, say like a doggy. Till I finish my beat. Cut it off, cut down your nose. All the sober loyalty is gonna get
exactly how it's going to happen. But it's-
Open the curtain.
Gotcha.
Lights
Go
on.
ahead.
Don't miss a moment of this experiment.
What's up?
Oh, the book is strange, like clockwork orange.
What's
Keep
going
your eyes
on?
buttered till the end. Which you are going to be. Inside the mirror, do you see someone else in the body? Test for me, 1 hand, 2 hand, 3 hand. Turn around, say boy, cut till I finish my beat. Cut it off, cut down your nose. On the summer movie, it's gonna get you killed. They broke the door, convenient theories for the puppets on TV. There is comfort in the streets. If you're gonna control me, at least make it interesting theatrically. How does it feel to be free? Why don't you try it yourself? The gate opened on me, so I leap down, down, down I go. I tell myself I'm a tough girl. Down, down, down I go. I could never, ever, ever touch the soil. My heart goes right, my head goes left, and end up on your bed.
In the rear with the gear.
I'll be your marionette. Here, tug on my thread. Spread me a bed for Dolly Pink, Snow White, or typical beauty. Maybe we're all Komashi stuffed into human skin with human sins sold up by the gods of city. Cut it out, you've already lost all the precious bravery. It's gonna get you hurting. They wrote the feet on them and already made us all center believe. We took the risk. If you're gonna replace me, at least have the audacity to kill me thoroughly. When does it hit for me? Think I am done with everything. Now I'm ready to leave. Striking at 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines. Connect our hands when I no longer can live on knowledge alone. You gave me hopeful curiosity. You're still happy answers I for my discovery. What's the color of the electric sheep you see? And if you love me, can you love your everything?
Yes, sir. SCV ready. SCV ready.
It starts getting chaotic when I start doing this. That's what I've noticed.
SCV ready.
Okay. No, 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 no. Well, actually, yeah. Watch all of you start on there. That.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Mineral field depleted.
Open the curtains, lights on. Don't miss a moment of this experiment. Oh, the book is strange, like clockwork orange. Keep your eyes buttered till the end. Which you are going to be. Inside the mirror, do you see someone else in the body? Transform me 1 hand, 2 hand, 3 hand. Turn around, save like a doggy till I finish my beat. Cut it off, cut down your nose. All the silver loyalty is gonna get you killed. You make Rubicon convenient theories for the puppets on TV. There's comfort in this place if you're gonna control me. At least make it interesting theatrically.
Hello.
Nathan,
Hi.
still playing that StarCraft?
Yes, sir.
What race do you play?
Terran.
Same.
Trying to learn macro right now. It's so irritating right now. Oh my god. I've been doing this for so long. Oh god, it's so miserable. Okay. I'll do a little bit more.
It's miserable? Stop playing, bro.
No, I'm addicted and it's actually a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, but right now it's so hard.
This game sucks.
I'm micromanaging like 6 different things at once. It's a lot of stuff you have to do. And the tutorials that are out right now are so bad because since it's such an old game, they expect you to kind of already understand a lot of things.
Bro.
Alright.
You play the game? But I 1v1 Ethan.
Hey, what?
Luke's played the game. You should just 1v1 Ethan.
I haven't
Man
played
brought up.
in a very, very long time.
Do you think you'd solo Ethan?
You probably could.
No. I don't remember. I literally remember nothing. I remember nothing about the game.
He's just lying to make you feel better, Ethan. What a crap friend. Look what
How
he's
would that
done to
make you
you.
feel better?
Look what he's done to you.
Messed up what I was going to do.
Sense.
Shit. No. Quit.
Wouldn't make sense to someone like you.
What do you mean by that?
I'm just saying, you people have a tendency to, muck everything up.
What was I going to do?
You people.
Shit. No, I didn't mean to do that. No, I don't want to join your game. No, leave. Leave, please. Oh, thank you. Okay, good. Forgot to click melee.
A new Fast and the Furious movie came out?
Yeah.
What?
Economic focus.
I have literally gotten no advertisements.
I only know because I think I saw like a clip on it, or whatever. On
I
TikTok.
wouldn't be. All the Fast movies have been boring and uninteresting. So.
Yeah, they get like progressively worse.
I couldn't ever even keep
Wait,
up with it.
are you playing? It just said you're online. Oh, it might have been Blizzard. It might have been like the Blizzard battle.
Oh, don't watch, bro.
Yeah, so I think it was.
He said, you know what? Let's give Blizzard another chance, huh?
Not enough minerals.
Give Blizzard another chance. You know, I think everybody says that. I don't know about that, Chief.
Not enough minerals.
Van is a staunch
Not
Blizzard
enough
loyalist, bro.
minerals.
Blizzard can do no wrong.
Oh, Blizzard can
They
do no
didn't
wrong.
really do anything that bad. I mean, they gave us the free bathing suit scan, so.
Yeah, so
Yeah, some people actually like talk like that though. Blizzard can do no wrong, guys. You made World of Warcraft.
And StarCraft.
Additional supply depots
It did make StarCraft, but they stopped updating it like 5 years ago. It's on what do you call it?
minerals.
I forgot what they called it. Maintenance mode. So like bug fixes. Pew, 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 pew.
Who cares? It was only ever worth a damn when it was Blizzard's.
Should go all the way back there.
No. Oh, no.
Bad news?
Okay, let's see what Charlie gave it on the moist meter.
What's going on?
Okay, what? Go back to your job. Thank you very much.
SCV ready.
Let's
Bad news?
make another one of those. Go right there.
SCV ready.
Go right there. Actually, one of you go back.
Ah! You scared me! We hear you. SCV ready.
That's.
Will
That.
do. SCV ready.
Why aren't you doing your job? Thank you very much.
Go, go, go!
I want you to make
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
that. soon too done with that. God, okay, do that. Let's see.
What's going on? This better rear with the gear ready. Yes, sir. Bad news. Yep. SCV ready. In the rear with the
That
gear.
should do that.
Early wrote another book. Cool.
What's wrong?
I don't know. Just sounds lame.
What sounds lame?
Charles White writing books.
That's
Or comics,
cool.
I guess it's cool.
That's yeah, it's a hobby. He likes it. Let him cook.
Sure.
Let him do his thing. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't care for his literature.
I've never
Oh.
read God Slap. It sounds kind of stupid.
That's sweet.
World where slapping is king.
He likes slaps. There's nothing wrong with that. You know.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you don't have to get on his ass. You know.
Maybe I do. Maybe it'll make him a better writer.
Have you read his material?
I haven't.
Why are you assuming?
True. If you assume you make an ass out of you and me.
You know, no, can't critique it yet, but I bet you know. That,
I'll drop a cool critiques on it.
yeah, exactly.
This has to be the stinkiest stinker I have ever stinked. Really cringe. And for babies. Charles White should kill himself. That's not true. Love Charlie, bro.
Oh, dude, this is actually kind of sick.
He's alright.
Upgrade.
You would say that.
Okay.
SCV ready.
Dude. No. My machine.
Wait, why are you going right there? Go right there. Go right there, guys. What the hell? Thank you very much.
Bad news. SCV ready.
No. No. Mm.
What's going on?
Mm.
SCV ready.
Get over there, buddy. Come on, do your job. Thank you.
SCV ready. You want a piece of me, boy? SCV ready. You gonna give me orders? Outstanding.
I should go all the way there.
Yes, sir.
All right, I have a macro cycle down, kind of.
Good for you, bro.
I've now been playing this game for, let's see, 2.5 hours learning that. Then I left it on. Oh, I can 1v1 you, Van, if you want me to. You can 1v1. Not very good right now, but I don't mind 1v1ing. I do need to buy an expansion because I want to play ranked right now. I wouldn't mind doing that. How do I buy an expansion? Excuse me. Because either I have to wait 10 days or I can do it right now. Because after our first 10 wins, I can unlock ranked. Where is Van?
Not sure.
He didn't want to talk to us. He's kind of above that apparently.
Oh, he's above that right now. Oh,
Yeah.
He's on his pretentious arc.
Been going on about how like we're basically beneath him.
oh,
How
that sounds
all we
like
do
him.
is harm him.
Well, not
better
that.
than
It's that we just like he doesn't talk. He's not talking because it's like we're not worth it. Like we're just here for like his enjoyment basically.
Oh, that I'm not surprised knowing him.
We're just
Yeah.
like entertainment to him.
You should have heard what he said about you, Ethan.
Okay.
Oh, what did he call me like a white devil? What did he say?
Worse.
Oh, worse. Oh, not surprised.
Yeah, classic. Ooh, can't say the word entry.
I'm not surprised. Knowing Van, of
Yeah.
course.
His people have always been like that.
What?
I'm just commenting on how his family has always been angry and angsty towards white people.
Oh yeah,
So-
of course. Yeah, they've always been like that. Yeah.
Of course, he's just following the trend.
Of course, you know, Lucas's family as well, you know. Lucas
What?
Lucas hates us. Lucas like literally like he
Oh,
just
that's
despises us, you know.
Average
What the hell?
racist.
Yeah, dude.
My family's
Luke
not
is such
racist at
a
all.
vindictive person against us, you know. He doesn't like us. Especially, you know, me.
Can't be saying to have on this special day, bro.
Sure.
Oh, I need to make an AI. Okay. Economic focus. Where are you?
Oh, shit.
Where are you, Simon?
Huh?
You're like
Bastard.
I was
echoing.
taking a shit. Yeah, I was taking a shit.
Wow.
Oh my
Soul red.
goodness.
Back to my nice cool room.
What time did I work today? Yeah, check.
What, you have a warm, moist towel there, too?
I'm so fucking addicted to this game right now.
No, Sri Lanka is very, 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 very hot.
It's like humid?
Yeah, it's very humid too. And then,
Oh, that sounds so bad.
and then like, a lot of places don't have AC.
Yep.
It's very bad.
Do you have AC in your house?
Yeah, I have AC in my room. That's why my room is nice and cold.
I have work tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Do I close? I don't think I close. Okay, that's good. Oh, but I close Saturday and Sunday, I think.
Same.
Not same. We don't close those days.
Yeah, you don't close it all.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Wait, Luke, could they be closing the Halcyon because they're making the new Star Wars land thing?
They're not making a new Star Wars land.
Oh, I gotta
Uh,
stream right
Never
now.
heard of that.